16th April, 1:26 p.m. Windy Banks Pawnbrokery. Der Tatort. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest. Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers. Your ladyship. How? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little vagabond to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is. I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Tolle Soundgeräusche von mir, ich weiß. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then? Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windbank and Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working round the clock. Which is a problem, cause there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, Sunshine. Ob wir noch erfahren werden, was das für ein Fall ist, wahrscheinlich, ne? Come then, let us not waste any time. Was sind das für weiße Spuren da unten? Scheinbar sind die nicht relevant, sonst könnten wir die examinieren. Aber... ja. Okay. Examine, da ist die Tür. Behind that door. It's a storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window on the door. In the door. Mr. Windybank, face down on the floor, with Gina beside him. As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation. Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door. That's the real scene of the crime. Jetzt tu mal nicht so, als ob du noch nie einen Tatort gesehen hast. Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them. Okay. Gehen wir da jetzt rein, oder? A new location has been added. Windybank's storeroom. The storeroom where pawned items are kept until they were deemed or forfeited. It's also where Mr. Windybank's body was discovered. Ich möchte mal gucken hier, ob hier irgendwas neu ist, aber scheinbar nicht. Weil hier Hurlock ja auch angeschossen wurde. Okay, dann gehen wir mal da rein. Windybank's Storeroom. th April, Windybank's Storeroom. Oh, als ob da noch das Blut ist. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely. Ja. Das sollte eine 10-Jährige vielleicht nicht sehen. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night. Ah! Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? He took one look at me and tried to run away. I think a Scotland Yard inspector won't run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old. I'm afraid this is all a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Das ist eine sehr großer Trost. I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet. And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes, I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley, and inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Okay, converse. The scene of the crime. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Sure! You've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Grexy, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now though. Was that the police officers doing? Quite right, man. Quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor. Thus wise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child. Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand. No! Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, sir, Inspector? Correct, all of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Sholmes' operation. Grexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he? The thing is, don't mince your words, Inspector, please. Yeah, you don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well, out with it. Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's a later thing, renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body anesthetized? Is that even possible? Vollnarkose oder was? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction. The trouble is, the later thing isn't always the greater thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the OP's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Oh my. No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in his system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. Okay. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again. Hurley. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Jones has to do things his way. Okay. Dann gucken wir uns mal um hier. Zuerst sehen wir hier den Plattenspieler. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them. Oder halt den Schrank. I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look! Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, sunshine. Okay. Die Kiste hier? Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah! What is it, Iris? That's the box fire that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh, okay. Oh! Iris' unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely, that's not what all this... Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box at once. Yes. Ah! It was there! Iris' story was there! Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believed Turley when he said he deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it. Aber warum wurde die Kiste dann geöffnet? War da noch was anderes drin oder was? Really? Because that's not a very well hidden frown. Iris' manuscript has been entered into the court record. A long unpublished story that Mr. Jones deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windybank. It's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. Okay. Examine. The Hound of the Baskervilles. The Hound of the Baskervilles. How did the Sato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me. I'm so sorry. Ich hoffe, sie explained das noch bevor sie abfährt. Okay, sonst gab's nichts weiter. Okay. Dann untersuchen wir die Markierung hier. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Aha! I may be able to help with that. Oh, what? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Uno? I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris. I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we are all different types. Yes, what a scientific observation. So you need this. Oh no, what is that scary looking thing? Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch. Oh, the color of the blood cell has changed. There, does it make sense now? Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see? Yes, how wonderful! The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color, so you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at, in a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris! Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding grey. So, whose blood are we looking at then? This must be Mr. Windybank's blood. Okay. Yes, this is where he was shot, so there can't be any question of that. This could turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we simply must make a note of it. Da kommt bestimmt ein Twist, dass das gar nicht sein Blut ist oder so. Bin ich mir sicher. Blood Samples Portfolio. A sample of blood analyzed with a special chemical indicator developed by Mr. Sholmes. Different people's blood turns different colors. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have a weekend left, sure. Okay, Munition. Schade, wir haben die Diskette nicht mehr. Name Pop Windybank. Location Windybank Storeroom. Color Blue. Hä, können wir da noch was untersuchen? Iris. Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely. This is a revolver, a real one. And quite possibly the murder weapon, used to take Mr. Windybank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Bruno look like you're about to fade. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. Wir wurden zwar erst gestern von jemandem mit einer Pistole bedroht, aber ja. And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windybank with us yesterday, didn't we? Oh, das ist eine Suizidpistole, okay. I shall have to make my own life. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Windybank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from the revolver. Okay. Haben wir hier noch irgendwas? Nein. Gut. Are we done then? Converse. Sholmes Operation. Können wir ihm noch irgendwas präsentieren? Wir mussten bisher noch niemandem was präsentieren, ne? Also nicht actively. Blood samples vielleicht. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? We don't tend to share sunshine. Not with the general public. In that case, Grexy, how about some herbal tea? Ah, lovely. Thank very much. That really hits the spot, your ladyship. Das wäre das gleiche, immer wieder? You don't mind sharing that then. Okay. Haben wir ja wirklich nichts vergessen. Scheinbar nicht. Cooles Schiff da hinten. Okay. I guess wir gehen dann nochmal in den Main Shop und untersuchen da. Salmon. Gucken hier auf den Tisch. There's the article ledger here and Mr. Windy Bank's notes. And, ein Foto von der Katze. What's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind. Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there... Oh, show us, Susie. Show us. Okay. 15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited, one gentleman's overcoat. Das ist doch von McGilded. Loan amount paid £1. Redemption deadline 15th April, 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat, pawned for £1? Clearly it was a very fine coat, in fact, I think. Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday. And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph though. It seems Mr. Windybank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand. But this photograph of a cat, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same photo somewhere else recently. Ja, hier. Oh, guck mal, hier steht auch was drauf. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it. 13th February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, one small box. Hä? One small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline 13th April, 9 p.m. April, meine ich, April. What the fuck? So this photographic print is a redemption ticket. For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem. Okay. Yes, a small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it? Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos. I can't help wondering. Presumably Mr. McGilded never redeemed the article in question, since he still had the ticket. So isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop? Ah, yes! If it's something McGilded deposited, we need to investigate. The white cat photograph information has been updated in the court record. Pawnbroker's ticket box. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbrokery owned by the victim, Mr. Windybank, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of a photograph. Okay. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this same picture somewhere else recently. Oh yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier. Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print. Well, what are you waiting for then, Miss Naruhodo? Get it out! Alright. Let the cocks turn. Yes, they are exactly the same. Hehe, I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret. A secret? What does she mean? You must tell us, Iris, at once. Hehe, do you really want to know? Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. Converse. Pair of photographs.